Oh, steel horse I ride. How's it going, guys? Mark? It's cracking, doggy. Josh? Chris? Some brains, you just got out of a 3-hour Zoom meeting? My God. I think, that's kind of what this feels like. You know, imagine talking on a Zoom meeting for 3 hours. Or like 2 hours, you know? It's kind of just like exhausting. Hopefully everybody's well. There's a paintball tournament happening this week. And technically week, I guess. We're going to talk about it. You know, we've got, let's see. I'm just going to talk about the tournament. There's some things that maybe we could look for. Some interesting things, some interesting matchups. And we're going to, you know, talk about who's going to win again. We talked about that last week, so we'll just kind of like barely touch on that. Maybe I will talk about some interesting ideas we kind of I heard about. Well, we'll get into that. Maybe possible league things that might be interesting we could change. That's about it. You know, it's kind of a light week. And being there's a paintball tournament coming up, it's kind of what the focus is going to be about. So as always, we will thank bfpgear.com. bfpgear.com should have popped up like that. They just got these new Infamous cleats in. I was at the store the other day. I was at Sac Paintball here in Sacramento. And it was kind of cool. You can actually go there and try these on. You know what sucks about like obviously buying shoes or like elbow pads or any of this stuff that needs to fit? It just kind of sucks that you can't easily try it on a lot of the time. But if you live near Extreme Paintball or Sac Paintball here in Northern California, you can try them on. And if you don't, you can always return them. So it's not like, you know, it's that big a deal. You can return stuff. Check out bfpgear.com. They got all kinds of Infamous stuff. I really like the Infamous bags too. I really like that like plastic material, not plastic, they're kind of rubberized. Check them out at bfpgear.com. Yep, bfpgear.com. Mark just paid his credit card off. I still got to do that. I got a little bit left to go here. Mark says, tell me Ohio layout isn't Las Vegas all over again. We might as well talk about the layout here real quick. I tried to actually pull this up on the Guns Up website and I couldn't get it to work. So we'll try again though. I don't know. You know, I kind of have like two takes on these, right? Like I kind of like how it's a little bit crazy, but it also makes it very difficult to watch. It makes it difficult to watch. I say difficult to play because it is difficult because we're so used to like a perfectly mirrored field. This like whatever flipped around contorted version just makes it a little bit harder to like know where people are at and stuff like that. So I don't know if I like these mirrored, I don't even know what these are called. I don't know if I like it because it's so difficult to watch, right? I mean, when we're watching the webcast, it's just so difficult because there's like two snake sides. So it's like, what side do you film and how do you actually talk about asymmetrical? There we go. It's like, how do you talk about the field? It's really difficult to talk about. So from a perspective of like a viewer or even, you know, a commentator, they're just difficult to watch. So I'm not keen so much on that. And it's like, you know, if I was a player, right, and this was the one tournament that I'm going to go to, it kind of sucks that like the layout's insane, right? It's such like a abnormal layout that it makes it just kind of difficult to play. It says that we're getting a streaming bitrate problem, so let me know if we're weird. I don't think so. Anyway. Yeah, so it'd be just kind of disappointing, you know, if you flew across the country or flew to the middle of the country and got kind of a weird layout. But then again, you know, if they're going to do a weird layout, you got to kind of do it at some point. You can't just never do it. I find it kind of odd how like that first Dorito, we'll go back to that, that first Dorito on the very like bottom corner of the screen, that mini Dorito that's kind of by the giant wedge on the side of the field. It's very weird how there's that snake beam, like just kind of like on the outside or on the inside of that Dorito. It just makes it it's very odd looking. I want to see somebody crawl all the way from Snake 1 all the way to Snake 1. Let's see if we can do it. We'll actually go to the Guns Up website again and try out real fast. BFP gear! See, we clicked it earlier, and it, like, did this. Yeah, it could not load data from server. And I think if we, like, zoom out really far, we can click this and get that to go away. But this is all that happened for me, so I don't know. I don't know. I was gonna try to walk around for you guys, and we were gonna crawl the snake. We could just run around. This is not very fun though. Yeah. So we're not doing that. It's just crazy, right? Like I said, I like these weird layouts. It's kind of interesting, right? It just keeps the little interesting. But at the same time, there are definitely some very weird drawbacks. I also noticed, look at that giant wedge. The wedge on the far right side of the screen. Like at the right 50. Look at that like blue piece sticking up. Oh, it's kind of weird. This weekend, though, you can obviously see right there in that top corner, we're starting out Friday. Friday for the Midwest Open. Look at that. It actually kind of matches the background. I totally didn't mean to do that. It's definitely a rendering. I hope so. They're changing the bunkers. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know what's interesting. Just the color logos. And then I kind of like looked through all the tournaments or all the matchups in the prelims. As well as, I don't know, just kind of thought about a couple interesting things you can watch for. So if you're going to watch the tournament this weekend, we can definitely watch Marcelo. All the drama that happened with Marcelo and him getting cut or something like that from Impact and then joining Tampa Bay Damage. That will for sure be interesting to watch. Damage and Impact, though, we're not going to be facing each other in the prelims. They're in totally different brackets. So if we see an Impact Damage matchup, it will not be until Sunday. If either of those teams do make it on, which I assume they will. You know, Damage and Impact, two of the better teams. Then Damage might have one of the best rosters in the league now. Also, very interesting to watch is Paintball Fit have won the last 3 tournaments. So can they make it 4 in a row? I don't know when the last team won 4 in a row was. I mean, it's probably going to be Dynasty, but I'm not 100% sure when they did win 4 in a row last. I think in 2022 to 2023 they won 4 in a row. Chris Raymond says the Ironman. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I just looked over and saw Ironman. Leverage, interestingly enough, have gotten last all the tournaments this year, so they've gotten 20th place. So hopefully Leverage, you know, can play a little bit better and get themselves out of that last place. In the last tournament, they only scored a single point. Not very good. Something interesting we noticed also, I was going through the stats today, and over on, I'll show you guys real quick. We'll try to do that really quick at least. Over on the Major League Paintball, I don't even know what's going to happen when I do that. I think it's on here. Maybe it's on the NXL website. I guess it's on the NXL. Maybe it wasn't. Where the hell did I find the stats at? Is it on PB Leagues? Season player ranking. There we go. So I used all these I was looking at these earlier, and I used all the player stats, and it's not like crazy, you know, it's just wins, losses, and ties, you know, to see how many points they played versus how many points the teams won and stuff like that. And one of the things I found kind of interesting was Arsenal actually have the second highest point win percentage. So out of all the points that they've played this year, they actually have the second highest win percentage. We'll talk about that, I guess, right now. I didn't talk about these games. We'll just come back over to those. They have the second highest win percentage. And here are all your win percentages for all of the 20 pro teams. We can see Paintball Fit up there almost at 62%, winning 62% of their games. And then Arsenal in there at 55.8 over Damage and Dynasty, Impact, Heat, X Factor, Ironman, AC Diesel, and the Tauntauns, which is interesting because the Tauntauns actually won a tournament this year. It just kind of shows you that you can have a really good tournament. You can win a bunch of points. You can slaughter your opponents. You know, you can, mercy rule them every time. It could be 6-0 in the first whole, prelims. But then when you get to the point where the ones that matter, you have to be able to win those. It's just like Arsenal, right? Arsenal won a majority of their points they've played in the prelims, right? They win most of those, or, a little over half, we should say. But when they get to those, games on Sundays in the quarterfinals or whatever, they're just losing by 1 point. So even though you can have like a really good win percentage, you really kind of have to be able to convert those over in those matches that matter, right? So, I'm not 100% sure, but you could say that Arsenal, maybe in the prelims, Arsenal's been playing, New York Extreme. They played Leverage. They're playing those teams that, don't have a good win percentage. So that helps boost their win percentage. But then when they face another team that's got a good win percentage, like Impact or, Dynasty, maybe it's been a little bit more rough for them going into those, or rough for them in those Sunday games. It's just a little something I noticed. I wanted to try to do more stat stuff. And this is kind of interesting. You can see Leverage, just how bad Leverage have been. I mean, 14%. 14% is pretty bad. It's interesting, too. You notice that other teams in here you'd think would be higher, right? I mean, you see Red Legion being pretty low there. Red Legion just played so well last year. So freaking well last year that it's kind of like maybe a little surprising that they're not higher on there. And those are some games to watch. There's maybe some... No, I don't think so. Those are probably the best matches. The ones that I find the most interesting, at least. I really like to watch the Tauntauns, and also really like to watch Red Legion, so it's kind of why Tauntauns and Aftershock are that first one. Impact and Ironman should be good. That's just some of the better, interesting matchups. I want to watch Impact. That's their Impact's first matchup. We get to kind of see what they look like without Marcelo. AC Diesel and Red Legion. That should just be good to watch. Houston Heat and Paintball Fit. The Battle of Texas. Dynasty playing Arsenal. I kind of highlighted that just because Arsenal had been playing so well in those prelim matches, kind of like we said with that win percentage. Red Legion and Tauntauns, just because I like Red Legion and Tauntauns. Impact and X Factor. Why did I put Impact and X Factor? Just because that's one of the better matchups, I think, that day. There's not much crazy. I think it was a little bit harder to find cool matches on Saturday. Paintball Fit and Leverage play. That's just interesting because it's the best team versus the worst team. And Dynasty and Damage will get a first look, not a first look, but really the last look of the prelims at Marcelo on Damage. On Damage, playing Dynasty. Tauntauns and Damage, are they playing too? I don't know. I probably missed it. That's also good. That's actually probably better, right? I'd actually probably really like that. But being my Tauntaun fan. Watch that one too. Full Send TV, what time? Oh, you're just rooting for them. Okay. Well, that's good. Those are my teams too. I'd like to see. I just want the teams that don't win tournaments to do well. You know, I think it's so cool that all the French guys come over and play. So I'm just always rooting for like those rando teams. Some brains. What'd you say? You said it's crazy to see Aftershock in the basement. Yeah, it is. Right. But I think a lot of this also has to do with like, you know, your matchups too, but you're also getting good matchups just because you're good. It's one of those weird things. It's not too surprising seeing Paintball fit that high though. But again, this doesn't really like tell us the whole story. It just tells you like percentage of wins. And if we look at like, if we look at the like PB League stats, it's a little weird too, you know, because I mean, some of these teams just play so many more games that like, is it even fair to compare when they play twice as many matches? You know, because Paintball Fit, if you go and you play in the finals and stuff like Paintball Fit have or Dynasty or Damage, you know, you're just going to play considerably more points. Like if we look at, you know, points played for Paintball Fit, all these guys, you know, have tons of points. It's also because they're running the same lines back to back. You know, but if you get down to the teams that aren't playing in the finals as much, or teams that aren't just getting as many overall points, it's going to be, I don't know, maybe just not as a fair of comparison. Because if you're winning more points, you know, it's a little bit even more difficult to be dominating or something like that. I don't know. Todd Adamson was talking about $400 spent, though. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Go Style says Dynasty should be a good test for Damage's new roster. Shit, man. I don't know. Well, on paper, Damage might have. I mean, on paper, Damage had one of the best rosters before, and adding probably like a top 10 player or whatever Marcelo is, yeah, I mean, that's for sure going to help them. Whether it helps them beat Paintball Fit, I don't know. I mean, Paintball Fit have just been so good. It's really difficult to see anybody doing better, you know? It's kind of weird to say, but like, you know, they really kind of have been super dominant, and dominant in a way that's interesting too. I mean, because they've lost Colt. Colt with his knee injury has not even played this year yet, and he's been known to be their, you know, glue guy, or like their something guy, like their super team guy, whatever we're gonna call that role. So it shall be interesting. I don't know about this layout though. I really don't. I'm not really so hip on the freaking layout. We'll find out though. I know Greenspan was talking about they kind of, I should say Joe Barrett, mainly Joe Barrett and Greenspan were talking on the Spick and Span show because they played that Dynasty Aftershock match last week, and I don't know, they talked about a bunch of like weird problems that the tournament had, or the match had, which is kind of understandable, you know. I mean, it's the very first one, and whatever, and apparently they got kind of screwed on the webcast stuff. That's why the webcast didn't go so well. But more what I think it like kind of made him think about Greenspan was, I don't know, the possibility of like styling or scheduling these tournaments a little bit later. Not later, differently. And I'm not ready to talk about this. I was going to try to talk about it, but I was trying to prepare like something to talk about how like, about his new league ideas and how we could possibly implement that. Because one of the things that I think that a lot of those players liked was this one-off tournament, this one-off match you went to kind of felt more real. It felt like a real sport, and it just felt kind of cool rather than going to this big, huge tournament where there's so many people. It just made it feel a little bit more exclusive or more professional in some way. So I was going to try to like organize a league. I was thinking about how to like reorganize the professional division in the NXL to make it so that they play more games like that. And I think it would be interesting to cut the league down to 16 or 18 teams, something like that. I think that I settled on 18 because it was just simple, and you could put the teams in different divisions. So you could have like a West Coast division, a Central division, and an East Coast division, and within those divisions, those teams would play each other. So if we were to do 18 teams, there would be 6 teams in each division. And then, like, say your team A or team 1 in the West Coast, right? Then you'd play all the other 4 teams or 5 teams. So you'd have 5 matches in your West Coast division. And then you'd also, so I should say those West Coast tournaments, like Greenspan was kind of suggesting, for those West Coast division teams, they could be at like local facilities. So say like they're at SC Village, or, one time it goes up to Seattle and it's held in like around the Uprising guys. But at each one of those events, I think it would be interesting to just do 2 matches, right? So you'd have 2 matches held on one day, and the webcast would also be happening. So we could make paintball like every Sunday. So if you'd have like the West Coast match, 2 double header, whatever, one weekend, and then the next weekend you could have a Central Division double header, and the next weekend you do an East Coast one, and then you go back to the West Coast, then a Central Division, then an East Coast Division. And then when the tournament comes, you could take 8 teams. So you could say like, take, I don't know, a random smattering from each division so that you could play outside of your division at the specific tournament. So say like this year was in Tampa, you'd take a few teams from the West Coast, a few teams from the Central Coast, a few teams from the East Coast, that Eastern division, they would go to the tournament and they'd play a single match at that tournament. So you'd get maybe 2 matches. You could even probably do 2. You could play a match on Saturday and a match on Sunday. And then the teams would only travel to like 2 or 3 tournaments. You wouldn't go to all the tournaments anymore because you'd be playing those regional events as well. I don't know if that made any sense. This was kind of confusing to me, and it took me a while to like brainstorm. I really wasn't even ready to talk about it. But what I think, the most difficult part I think about that is that like, I don't think it's necessarily the travel for the players, right? Because I don't know if you'd be traveling all that much more, right? Because you're on, you'd stay in your central time. You'd stay in your central area. So, you'd have all like the Texas teams. You could have, I don't know, maybe you could throw Impact in the central area, but maybe they'd be on the West too. But you get plenty of West Coast teams, plenty of East Coast teams, and you'd never really leave your region except for when you'd fly to those tournaments, right? You'd go to like, the Tampa tournament, or you'd go to Ohio or whatever. But we could have paintball like every single day, not every single day, but you could have like paintball for 6 months or something, every single Sunday or every single Saturday or something. The hard part of that, obviously, is that, ideally this would all be live, right? It'd be a live stream. So all the matches would just be live. But to do that good a quality, it would just be a really, really expensive, As it is right now, there's the NXL and there's 5 tournaments. And the, webcast crew is there for, 6 days or something like that. But they're only traveling 5 times, right? If we were to do like what I'm thinking, it'd require like 30 different travel days for that webcast or whatever, or for the league. So it'd be quite extensive and very expensive, but it'd be really cool. I really liked it when the Ryan Greenspan was talking about it on the Spick and Span show. But again, it would be very difficult. Mark, I'm with you. if you're here and you're here hanging out and maybe you dislike the idea of my tournament series, give the live stream a like. Yeah, I wanted to have like all these graphics and stuff on screen, but I had like a division breakdown thing, but it's just not ready. Cool. Just hire crews in the area. You could for some stuff for sure, but there'd have to be, I mean, you have to fly some people around, you know. But you could definitely hire like, yeah, they're for sure. You could hire. Plus you could even have like the same people over and over, right? Because if it's at like SC Village, say, every 3 weeks or whatever, you can just have those same people just come to SC Village every 3 weeks. But it'd be so expensive. Like, you know, it'd be so expensive. It'd be just so expensive. Some brains, there are production houses where you can rent broadcast gear. The way they're doing it is not how we did it for HBO. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, renting equipment gets weird though too. I mean, it matters how much you're doing, you know. If they're only doing like a handful of broadcasts, but if they're doing like, you know, 50 a year, it probably makes sense to own equipment. I assume. I've never broadcast anything. Dude, I was watching Formula One the other day, and I'm like, Formula One's probably the biggest, like, most technical broadcast, live broadcast ever. For sure. I feel like there's not even, like, a close second. I'm really hot. Just realized my fan's on, but it's not even blowing on me. What, they bought SDI switchers? God, it's crazy to me. Yeah, it's definitely cheaper to ship equipment than people. I mean, there's been times we shipped paintball equipment to paintball tournaments, actually. Jamaican bobsledding. Cool runnings. I don't know. I don't have anything else to talk about, guys. I really like it when I have, like, actually things I can riff on for a long time, but I kind of don't. Maybe, you know, if you want to become a channel member on here, think about that. We're going to do a members giveaway right after this. So in mere moments, here on the YouTube channel, you can become a channel member. You do that by following that link right there on the screen. It'll take you here. Or maybe it'll look different, you know, if you're on a phone, it'll look a little different. You get these cool badges. Some of there, you got badges. You get early access to videos, like there's a video up right now that is only available to members. Exclusive members only videos, like currently there's a ProFlex video on the channel that is early for members. And then after that ProFlex video comes out, I think the ProFlex video should be out for normies. Did I make it for Tuesday? I think it's up. I think it's going on. I think it might be up tomorrow. It might be up Wednesday. I forget. But after that, there's going to be like this new video I'm going to do called the debrief, where we just kind of watch the video together, and I'll like pause it and like talk about more interesting things I didn't put in the video, or like behind the scenes stuff or whatever. Merch discounts, members only. Live streams as well. Like I'll probably do a live stream during the tournament here this coming weekend. Channel members, and if you are a channel member, that means you would be entered. Actually, before we actually do that, I'm going to talk about the stuff that we're actually giving away. So currently, in mere moments, I said that earlier. Really freaking sweaty. Channel members. We talked about these a little bit last week. What are we giving away? The Paintball DNA pocket stand. These are actually really neat. Like, look at how small this is. That is a gun stand inside there. Sorta. Comes apart. You take out this bottom one. You take out this top one. Goes in like that. Goes in like that. That's all it is. And then, like, you know, if you got a tank and a hopper on and stuff, you put your gun in there, and it would work better if it was actually on a table. You know, and it just, like, leans, like, act like my hand is a table. It just kind of, like, props itself up in there. It works really well. Paintball DNA pocket stand, as well as a bunch of Paintball Ruin My Life headbands. That's the Paintball Ruin My Life headband. There's another Paintball Ruined My Life headband that can be purchased in the Paintball Ruined My Life store. The same exact print, but this is the red, white, and blue version. For all you true patriots out there. 3 headbands, and as well, a headband holder. The Headband Hero, the HB Hero, from atactics.com. That's how you say that, atactics. What this is, we talked about this a little bit last time, but I didn't mean to talk about this last time, so we might go over it. We're gonna go over it a little bit more. So what this thing is a piece of aluminum with 2 little bars in there. Because I have face tracking on, it's like hard to focus. You can see those pieces kind of go back and forth. And I wanted to set this camera up, but the power cable is not working, so we don't have power to that camera. So it's a little harder to show. The way we do this, got that thing, right? Got your headband. And ultimately, this is just a different way to kind of tie your headband. So you put it through the big center spot, put it, I'm making sure I'm putting this on right. Put this back through so it kind of weaves through. You do it to the other side. And, you know, I originally thought this, I was like, this thing's weird. I'm like, why would, you know, like, why just freaking tie my goddamn headband, you know? It's like, it's not that hard to tie your headband. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay, you put it through. And then, you know, you got like a thing. So I was like, why would you want this? It's like, I don't know. I had no idea why I wanted this thing. But I'm actually like kind of shocked at how well it works. So, I mean, really, you just put it on and see, you just like cinch it closed and it stays extremely secure. Like, you know, way more secure than if you're just tying it on. Mainly because the way the thing's just designed, you know, you can't really just like take it off easy because it like pulls itself closed. It's like extremely tight. And I've never really thought about this, but having this like flat against your head is way more comfortable. I don't even know if you can see the back of my head. It's way more comfortable than just a huge knot. I'm kind of shocked. Most of this stuff is kind of weird, you know? People come out with these like odd little products and you're just like, all right. But it's surprisingly cool. They actually have 2 different sizes. This is the single band version, and there is a double band version. If you want a double band, they're made in the USA. They're made like super, super well. I mean, you literally can't probably make stuff better. The Tactics Headband Hero. But the reason I bring that up is because we're going to give them away to any member of said channel. If I can click the right button right there. And if you're a pro member, if you're a member, I shouldn't say pro member because that's the only level membership there is now. If you're a member of this channel and we land on your name on this wheel spin right here, you're going to win yourself a little headbands package gun stand thingy. Chris Raymond. God damn it, Chris Raymond. Chris Raymond won himself 3 headbands. Headband Hero, which is actually kind of neat. Pocket gun stand. Whereas Chris Raymond's actually right there. He's a moderator in here. It's not rigged, I'm positive. Chris Raymond wins. Chris is going to be like, give it to somebody else. But Chris, you won. Chris, I will probably see you in real life, I imagine, at the paintball field at some point here, but I will message you, and we'll figure that out. You won yourself headband, another headband, another headband, the Paintball DNA pocket stand, and the Tactics headband hero. Look at how good the color looks. It's really great. Paintball stuff. So next time, next live stream, we're going to give more stuff away. I've got like all kinds of shit. We're just going to start raffling it off. We're just going to start giving stuff away. If you're a paintball company out there and you want me to feature any of your things, like this Paintball DNA gun stand, you know, the reason we have this is because Benji from Paintball DNA makes a bunch of neat stuff, and he sent this over. Same thing with this. They sent it over for free. So guys, if you you know, you own a paintball company and you want I don't know, send me some stuff. We might give it away. Yep. Winning free stuff. So that killed about 5 minutes. I might just call this one early tonight. What's happening? Oh, it's rigged. Shit. You could rig it. I mean, I easily could rig it. It's not really that hard, right? Because couldn't we just like... We could just... I could just build my own HTML page. Like, I could just build this page myself, right? Where's my mouse? I could just build the, you know, wheel page myself and just design it to stop at a certain name. It wouldn't be that hard. It'd really be really simple. It'd probably take like 20 minutes. We could build it. And I could just type in whatever name I wanted to stop on and just be like, bang. Can we do a live stream at the state fair? I want to go to the state fair. I haven't been to the state fair in forever. Why the state fair? Nate? How are you, sir? I need one of those headband things. What are they called? The Tactics. It's spelled kind of crazy, but that's how you spell it. ATTKTX. Kabingo. Oh, I'm also trying to build an app. You guys think it would be fun? Oh, is it Attack Texas? I know that I'm saying the name right, because the owners, the company said I was saying it right. So, no, I don't have a referral code. We really should. Nate, hold on that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna figure that out. I will get a referral code. I'll figure it out. No, I was thinking about like it's not an, I mean, I guess it could be an app, but I was thinking about, I've always wanted to do like a quiz, and I want to do like a live quiz, like a live stream paintball quiz where you guys go to a website. Yeah, you go to like Paintball Ruined My Life / party quiz or whatever, I don't know. And you sign up, and during the live stream, like say right now, I'd be like, the quiz is going to start in 5 minutes. And then the quiz starts in 5 minutes, and we just kind of do it live together. And people would get points somehow, and somehow the points would be good for something. Yeah. I don't know, though. I don't know if... Like, it sounds interesting to me, but the amount of work that it takes to build it like I want, I'm not sure if it would be worth it in the end. You know, like, if it would actually work out. Like, if people would actually like it or not. So, I'm not 100% sure. Some brains. That's easy. You can write that with fall score ranking. Dude, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I was just going to use Cursor AI. I was going to do it all in AI and just vibe code the whole thing. Because I don't know how to do anything anymore. And, I mean, it wouldn't... I mean, you know, I have to build a database and I want people to be able to log in, you know? So we got to, like, deal with that. And, like, I want to have, like, a dashboard so people can keep track of their previous scores and, like... it's a whole thing, which could be done, but I don't want to spend a whole week on it and then it'd be like stupid, you know, like it's no point in it. No one likes it. That's what I don't want to do. There are some alternative things that software that does work like I want, but some of them are like $300 a month. I'm like, I can't pay $300 for that. I know. I think about coding and with logins and stuff for sure. I know. I for sure thought of that security stuff. That's one of the reasons I don't want to really do it because it's so much craziness. Yeah, there's one app that works. There's one like company that offers something, but it's like $300 a month. It's like, why? It's like, it's crazy. It's like, why am I gonna pay $300 a month to run quizzes? That's insane. Paintball quiz time. Yeah, yeah. A soundboard? What do you mean by like a soundboard? I don't know if I need a sound. It would be kind of cool to do like a actual quiz show in real life though. Like if I had a big garage or something like that, it would be really cool to have like we could run like a quiz show in the garage. I know, some brains too. $300 a month for a competent software developer to do it in 2-3 hours, for sure. I also thought about that. I was like, dude, I could just hire some guy from India and be like, dude, I don't care if you make it all in AI even. I don't care. Like, you do whatever you want. Like, just make it work. I totally thought about that. But then I'm like, I don't want to pay somebody for this, you know? So... Dude, I want to set up a whole like row of people with like buzzers and shit though, Chris. Oh. And like have people buzz in and stuff, and we could have like bad stuff happen to them if they answer the wrong question. Maybe they get shot a bunch. I think it'd be funny. It'd be really kind of interesting. But it'd have to be like cool set up, and I don't have anywhere to do that. It's, you know, I don't want it to be ghetto. Start selling blow. Can you even sell that stuff anymore? I don't know if it's selling stuff anymore. Competent, not complete idiot. That's fine with me. I don't care if they're idiots, as long as it's done. Marauder Woods Ball, June 22nd. What's Marauder Woods Ball? Why don't we got some... Give me something paintball oriented to talk about. I don't know what video I'm making next. I really don't. I really don't know. That's my job tomorrow. Is to figure out the next video. Naked uncapped semi? It would be fun. It would be fun to think of like punishments for like doing stuff, and it'd be funny to like... I think it'd be fun. So this next video too, I know my goal for this next video is to try to just get it completed in 2 weeks. So I don't even know if it's going to be good or not, but my goal is just completed in under 2 weeks. And yeah, that's going to be the goal. Obviously try to make a good still, but I'm not going to try to spend like 4 days on like just sound design. Make a video about the history of the Empire Axe. There actually is some hello from Russia. I'm not going to try to say your name. Make a video about the history of the axe. There actually kind of is some interesting history there, because it's actually like some gun from Taiwan that someone made in like the 90s or something like that, like the late 90s or early 2000s or something like that. And then Simon Stevens from Empire took it over or something like that. Oh, history of the Halo would actually be kind of cool. Yeah. One of the problems too is thinking about how to name the videos, you know? It's like the videos are, the titles and the thumbnails are almost more important than thinking about what the video should be about. Because like if you have a good thumbnail and title, I can make the video. You know, I can try to like figure out what the video is about. Sometimes that's hard though too. Paintball videos. The ProFlex one's pretty good. Coming out pretty soon. I think it's alright. The JT ProFlex. It's the end of an era. I don't know. I'm looking at titles that I have. There are some videos that I do want to make, but they might be like, they're really kind of hard. Some brains, the hopper that enabled the rate of fire wars. I know. That's just like so much titled like all the other videos too. They're so like, this person cheated, the cheating paintball gun, you know. The paintball that enabled, the product that enabled the worst cheating ever, or something, you know. It's like, those are the titles that work. JP, we can sell your merch on the fly. What do you mean? Start streaming on Whatnot. That stuff's crazy. I know, cheating does equal views. I don't like it though. I mean, I don't know. I've always said like, as long as it's not like obvious clickbait and stupid, and as long as the titles pay off, you know, if the title of it is like, you know, the hopper that enabled the worst cheaters ever, or, you know, something crazy like that, you know, that's fine. But it's gotta like pay off, you know, it has to actually do what the title says, you know, and it did. I mean, I'd say that the Halo definitely did that. For sure. Because there wasn't really a hopper that was able to like feed the like crazy speeds. Gush 99. That's a weird gush. Gush makes me think of like a lady gushing. I'm like, she's a gusher. Sniping from the woods. I know I have a title on here. I just read it a minute ago. Where'd it go? The most infamous cheating scandal in paintball history, something like that. And that would be probably about that would be about Jeremy Salm, the Jeremy Salm story, which was him sniping from the woods. But, you know, the real problem with that is I've thought about that video and like, I don't know what I would put in the video, right? Because like, you know, I think about like, you know, the ProFlex video or the Intimidator video or like, you know, these other videos, and like, there's a lot of stuff to put in there because when I'm talking about the Intimidator, I can just, you know, put video of the Intimidator. But there's no like, there's just not a lot of footage of that stuff, you know, like the Jeremy Salm incident. It's like, there's not a lot of footage from back then anyway. And there's no footage of that incident. There's like no footage of the game. There's like nothing. So it's like, it's kind of weird. I was like, I guess we could reenact a bunch of stuff. But then that's, I mean, that's doable, but it'd be weird. Reenacting stuff would be kind of interesting. Interview teammates, for sure. I can actually show you guys something. This video was made somewhat recently, but I actually have not seen this. I actually did not watch this. This is Paintball Media. Woo, Burpee City. And they made a video that was all about the Jeremy Salm incident, where they literally interviewed everybody who was there. So it's like, I wouldn't really need to do a lot of work. You know, all this is like already kind of been done. So they literally interviewed everybody that was there. And this is not footage of that tournament. Like, they show this right here, and that's Dirk Gadbury from the Ironman. And like, obviously, this is like 1993, I think, right there. 94 or something. Maybe it's like 96. But they already did like, you know, a ton of like interviews and like research. You got Rocky right there. There's Jeremy. There's John Dresser. Why am I blanking on? No, that's Jeremy right there. I'm sorry. Mr. Cole. So they did so much of that work already. And this is only the 3-minute version. They actually, at one point, had a Patreon. And I don't know what the deal is here, but it's in here somewhere. So this is also on their Patreon somewhere. There's a whole thing about Simon, I guess. So I could just get these videos and just copy them. But yeah, I have looked into doing that Jeremy Salm video. The band player who outlasted a league. I like the band player part, Old Soul. Titles really are like, I just started doing titles good too. It took me like 10 years. I think the Salm incident would have to be a chapter in a greater story about cheating. Probably not. I mean, only because like YouTube's not, YouTube sucks like that. Like to do like a series of videos, I don't know. I don't know if it works that well on YouTube, honestly. You're probably better off just making it all one long ass video, you know? Rather than do like 4 different videos or whatever, just make one like hour long, super long mega thing. Josh is suggesting that people like this live stream. You can if you want, I don't know. Just like the regular videos, for the love of God. Those ones I spend a lot of goddamn time into. Even if you don't like it, just like it for the respect of the effort. Some brains. Can you do every ex-Ironman player with a stuffed toy and say point to where Dave touched you? It depends. I thought of like ex-Ironman players as in like old guys, like guys that are old. But yeah, I don't know. Don't forget to smash that like button. Everyone's like, no one's gonna do it. Everyone's a bunch of pussies. What's your favorite product that is discontinued currently? Shit, yeah, Mark. Mark's probably right there. Ninja Air. Ninja. Jeez. I don't know. I mean, there's so much stuff, you know, it's hard to say. I don't know. Jesus. I have no idea. Oh, I don't know. Denzel says i3s. Why don't you give me? Why doesn't the chat say? What's your guys' favorite product that is discontinued? I really don't know. I know that it's not the i3 for me. The Angel Fly, but which Angel? Which fly? God damn, I really don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think about like masks or like something, but I don't know. There's nothing that like really stands out. The 05 Dragon, but you wouldn't buy that if it was available. Like that or a CS3. Rat Impulse. Dude, I wanted a Rat Impulse for so long. Proto Pants? Proto Gear was actually not that bad. Custom Products. Custom Products is still around though, but they haven't really made anything in like forever. I think they're still around. They kind of like make stuff when they want. Hot Chick barrel covers. I remember when we used to put clear grips, like the Intimidator. The Intimidators had those clear grips on the outside, and we'd put like porn underneath the grips. That was funny. Reds without the Dave Youngblood drama. What happened to Reds? I don't know if Dave involved with that, or was that a different situation? The JT Bull denim jeans. Yeah, those were kind of cool, huh? Dang. I remember we had a pair at the paintball store for a long time, and it was size 30. And I like always was like, damn, I want these to fit me. And I'd like look at them and I'd be like, I'd like think about trying to wear them all the time. And I'm like, I can't even get I couldn't even like get them like, like halfway up my legs. I don't know where those went. I probably threw them away or something. They were at the store for so long. They were very weird too, because they were like a 30-36 or something. They were like weirdly sized. The JT 2+3. The Vents Predator. I talk about the Vents Predator in the upcoming Proflex video. I have to make sure to hold these headbands, keep these headbands around. I always like forget how to put this back together too. That's not right. Nope, that's not right. Is that right? That's right there. Oh, shit. What am I doing wrong here? There we go. No? I don't know. I'm too dumb to figure it out. Curtis Sims. Anyone know where to score the Dynasty Aftershock event? I can't find it anywhere. Well, they had the live stream, right? But the live stream was not watchable because they didn't have audio. And it wasn't really, you know, you can watch it. But if you, this guy, what was it? I swear it was like Northwest Paint Cover or something like that. Northwest Paint Cover, yeah. This guy, he was actually at the event and filmed raw footage at least. Right there. So he filmed it, but the actual webcast is not really watchable. Yeah, the ground is not so great. That was something that was definitely complained about. Yeah, it doesn't look so great. Yeah. Yeah, the ground was not so great. That was one of the major complaints. They were talking about, you know, like, they're professionals going to play there, and it does kind of suck that the ground was so bad. Yeah. What is ProPeptides? A company that sells peptides. I don't know if I could fully explain peptides. I think it's part pseudoscience, part actual science. It might depend on who you ask a little bit. Not something I'll probably be selling. It's kind of in that same line of like supplements or like weird diet teas. I don't know. Oh, peptides, I don't know if they're going to help with muscle recovery. I honestly don't know. I know that like people have gotten stem cell and peptide injections into spots, and it's helped with like recovery and stuff, but I'm not 100% sure. I've never looked into that stuff because I don't know. I don't have the money to waste on that stuff, and I don't know if it works. And it's like a weird, unregulated industry, so it's also kind of weird, you know? I don't know if I trust it. I don't know. Anyway, Chris says BPC157/TB500 helped my knee injury, I think. Huh. I know. I don't know. I know that like I've heard like some of the paintball guys talking about that stuff. I don't know if it's injection though. I'm not sure if it's, I don't know, let's look. What was it? It's ProPeptides. Oh, I gotta be over on the right window. ProPeptides? Oh, I didn't do a .com. What is happening? Shouldn't their website? Holy shit. No, this is Peptides Pro. What is happening here? I don't know. We'll just go there. Yeah, I know that this is not just him either, because there's other like paintball guys talking about this. I don't know who owns this. You know, I presume it's a paintball player. There's that BPC157 though. That definitely looks like you need a syringe, doesn't it? How do I make this stupid box go away? I don't want to accept it. You have to actually give me a spot to click no. Comprehensive recovery, joint, muscle. Ooh, the emojis don't make me feel good. I don't know, dude. You don't need a prescription. That's something. I don't know. I wouldn't take it, though. That's all I know, guys. That's why I think it's weird. Also, it's just honey and saline. Yeah, I've always just felt weird about like that stuff, because who knows, you know? I mean, even buying supplements, like, you know, you can buy protein powder and it could just not be what it is. You know, they can just put whatever the fuck they want in there. I mean, literally, anything they want. There's no laws against doing that or anything. I mean, I guess there could be like false advertising laws, but, you know, those industries aren't regulated at all. Anyway. I don't know. I've even thought about, like, you know, guys doing TRT and stuff. They're doing that testosterone replacement therapy. And that kind of weirds me out a little bit too, because it's like, I don't know, like our bodies downregulate, and like you stop producing testosterone for a reason, right? It's not like just accident, you know, like our bodies have been evolving for millions of years, you know, and everything happens for a reason. It's not just like happenstance. You know, it's like women stop getting pregnant because their bodies can't really handle pregnancy after a certain age. I mean, nowadays they probably can, but, you know, 20,000 years ago, probably not. But so, like, you know, why do our bodies stop, you know, producing testosterone? And is it a good idea to reinvigorate that? Probably not. You know, haven't they proven that, like, you know, like it can cause cancer? Because it can, like, you know, we get older, we get cancer and tumors more. And if you increase that testosterone, doesn't it like ramp up your tumor growth? I don't know. I don't want tumors. Everyone I know over 45 in the business world is on TRT. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I do want to get like my levels tested and stuff because, you know, I am 41 years old. It's because we're not supposed to live this long. Oh, hi, Idaho guy. Yeah, kinda. That is kind of true. I mean, we are though. I mean, you're supposed to live to like 80, right? Maybe. I mean, some people aren't. Maybe some people are. I don't know. Because some people are just like, you know, healthier than other people. It's crazy to think that, like, what's really kind of crazy, we talk about life expectancy, and it's all just a little weird, right? Because, like, everyone used to just die earlier back in the day, but they didn't really, right? They were just dying from weird shit. You know, you get like a splinter and you could die from infection. So people aren't dying at like 14 anymore from splinters. So it's like all weird. But isn't like the US life expectancy over time, hasn't it decreased recently? Which is a whole nother thing, right? Scientific America is good. I mean, I trust these people. I don't know what this graph really is. You have to lifespan birth. Because hasn't it gone down? It was 78.8 and then it went down to 76.1. I don't think I don't think from COVID. Don't they blame this all on like fentanyl overdoses and stuff like that? I think it's all, they blame it all on drug overdoses. Because everybody's dying at like, you're getting people that are dying at like 24 and stuff like that, which really reduces the overall age, you know? Decreased by 1 year, I think. It's crazy. It even decreased at all. But I don't know if COVID really made a difference. Because it was all old people that died. So it's like, I mean, not all old people, but, it, you know, the statistics, I think, make it old people. Yeah. That was my point, Chris. I was like, if you look at statistics from back in the day, you're like, everybody died in their 30s. It's like, no. It's just that, like, 40% of the babies died. So, like, you know, of course the average age is going to go down if all the babies are dying. Anyway, what the hell are we talking about? This is what happens when there's nothing to talk about. I don't got any paintball stuff, so we're just going to talk about nonsense. I did know that keeping track of the wars that are happening, it's crazy the drone attacks, how like, go look into the drone attacks that like the Ukraine did recently against Russia and then the Israeli one against Iran. They're so crazy. Like the planning and like all the like weirdness they're doing to like execute these like attacks are crazy, you know. All this new like drone warfare is just nuts, you know. Not like big predator drones and stuff, but just wild. People may die from injecting peptides off some emoji website. Yeah, I'm not keen on the emojis. It's just kind of wild. Like seeing how they like plan all that stuff. It's just crazy. Hostility. Seeing those fiber optic lines all over the battlefield. That's weird, right? It's like spider web or something. It's just crazy. It's like really big spider webs or something. Wild. Randy with an actual paintball question. Best mechanical to shoot. I see some guys getting at least 10 balls a second, but I never know what they are. You know, I would say that most of the mechanical guns you can probably, if you're good enough, you know, and you've got it like set up how you kind of like the feel and stuff. I think that most of the mechanical guns nowadays that are, you know, better mechanical guns, you probably can shoot maybe over 10. I personally probably can't, just because I can't move my hand that fast. So I probably can't, but you know, whether you have an EMEC, a stock EMEC at this point can do it. You get a 180R, any of those good, you know, mechanical guns can do it. I was just going to say, Idaho guy said CVO is supposed to be fast. Probably the fastest. I think that the mechanical shockers in general, whether it's the CVO where you have like a amp with a mechanical frame, whatever it is, they are very fast. I think that those are like they probably like the most responsive and like quickest, which is, it's kind of hard to explain. I can't explain it, but it feels like it's like the gun just shoots a little like more responsive, so it feels like you can get a higher rate of fire out of the thing. But it's mostly probably personal setup to make it feel right in your hands. And then honestly, just like skill, you know, I just can't shoot fast. But I think most of them all probably can. Chris Martin said, I played mech with Mark yesterday. Oh, Sunday. I don't know why I thought it was like Wednesday. I'm like, you're playing on Wednesday? Yesterday, and it was the most fun I've had playing paintball in months. I love mechanical. I'm full on mechanical. I haven't played with an electric gun in years, other than when I've had to like review stuff, which has not really been recently. I think the last electric gun I probably played with was a CS3. Which, I mean, it's currently out, so it's not like that long ago. Some brains. Drone warfare has been fascinating to follow, especially since it makes future street crime so much more interesting. Future street crime. It's just crazy to like. It was crazy that the Ukrainians, how they like hired the Russian guys. They hired Russians to pick up these trailers, and then they drove the trailers into Russia, and then the drones launched from the trailers. And then apparently Israel had like property in Iran that they used for like drone launching platforms. So drones were just like flying out of these houses. That shit's crazy, dude. It's nuts. It's just nuts. What we saying, Reddick? Now, what about rate of fire? A mechanical can do? I don't know. I don't understand. At what age am I gonna stop playing paintball? I don't know. Honestly, I'll stop playing when there's no one to hang out with. When I like, if like no one plays. I mean, the only reason that I play paintball at all is because there's people I know and it's fun to hang out and talk to people and see people. That's literally it for me. So like, if I moved or something like that, or, you know, everyone quit that I knew and whatever, no one went to the field anymore or something, I probably would too, you know, because it's mainly about like, you know, just hanging out. more than anything. Although I have not gone to the paintball field a lot. Mark was like, we miss you every weekend. I know. I've been trying to like work on stuff more, and sometimes on the weekends I'm just like, I don't want to fucking go nowhere. But it was fun last weekend. It's just fun to go outside and hang out. Honestly. I was gonna try to go this Sunday too, but it was Father's Day and I forgot it. Not that I have a father. Technically I do, I guess. It's hot in Texas. It's not hot here. In Sacramento, I mean, we've had lucky, like crazy weather. It's 89 outside, which might be hot to some people, but not me. I mean, I was gonna try to go. I was gonna go backpacking by myself last week. That was like my treat for finishing the Proflex video, and was gonna go to the mountains. And it was going to be so cold, I kind of like decided not to go. It was going to be 38 degrees at night, and I was like if it's 45, I will freeze my ass off with all my clothes on and like everything. So I don't really have equipment to go when it's cold. And I was going to try to go this week. I was going to go... Why is this not working? I was going to go this week, but there's still going to be like 37 degrees at night, so I ain't going. So cold. Where was I going to go? You got somewhere? I wasn't going to go anywhere crazy. Let's see if I can show you guys the trail I was going to go on. Bloop, bloop. That right there, very, very, very short. Because I kind of want to fish these lakes. I want to try to like fish these lakes right here. It's only like 6 miles, 7 miles. I'm just going to camp right here. But I want to like, whoa. I want to like take my time and like try to stop all up in here. It's very exciting. You see that right there in the Tahoe National Forest. It's very short, which is good for me. What are we talking about here? I was riding at Immigrant Gap this weekend. I know, that's why I didn't go. Immigrant Gap, riding what? Riding a unicycle? What were you riding at Immigrant Gap? I just watched a video on Lachlan Morton. Does anyone know who Lachlan Morton is? Nate, 100% about paintball after moving. Okay, there we go. Nate knows. Yeah, you just moved. It sucks. The field and SoCals aren't the same as Capital Edge. Yeah, I mean, it's the only reason I'm playing a dual sport. Okay. I was hoping you were like a mountain bike or something cool like that. Because I'm always looking at trails up there to ride bicycles and bikes and stuff on. Bicycles, I should say. A brown trout lure. Oh, you want to see what I'm using? I'll show you guys what I use to fish. I was talking to Chris at the paintball field about this the other day. I'm not like a fisherman. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, first of all. This is a Tenkara rod, though. So it's essentially like a little teeny fly rod. So I pull that off, and then that string right there, it's not going to focus, but there is a string right there. It's actually going to focus on the string. That would be insane if it could focus on the string. String, and then it goes to like, there's a little fly right there. But it goes to, obviously that string goes, I'm trying to get to focus. That string goes and ties into a fishing line. But this thing, like, just, you know, comes off, and this whole bad boy's like a 12-foot crazy telescopic pole. And then I can just, like, put it into little creeks and stuff like that. So I can put it into creeks or, like, little streams or, like, sight fish or whatever. And they're, like, super lightweight. And the only reason I have it is just because it's fun. You know, I'm not, like, eating the fish that I'm catching with this. Probably not, because they're going to be like little babies. Yeah, it's just kind of fun. And they're really lightweight. You don't have to take anything, you know? It's just like a little teeny thing. I don't even know if I've ever caught anything with it. I've only used it like a handful of times. 3 times or 4 times. The Tenkara rods. When's the next WCPPL? When's the next WC? I'd kind of like to go, but I don't really want to play. I kind of want to just go and hang out. Because whenever I play, I always feel like so much like stress. Not stress, but like, I don't know. You know, like I said earlier, I just want to kind of like hang out. I don't really care. So I'm fine with just hanging out. The 20-footer. I don't know how long that is, honestly. Oh, I just noticed that is there an actual, like, storage spot? I literally just saw this. Wow. Oh, that's the actual rod in there. Never mind. Yeah, I would like to go to WC. It's in August. Oh shit, it's in August? That's like really soon. They're probably... are there single moms in the parking lot? I don't want to date a paintball mom. That would be like my nightmare. I'd be like, now this kid wants to talk to me about paintball? No. Let's look at the PB League's website. PB Leagues. You guys see the new Emerald Proflex leaked? No. I believe it though. Emerald is green, right? I mean, we kind of knew they were releasing all the colors. I think they actually showed all the colors before though. Like earlier this year or last year, they put out like a teaser video. And I think that they showed all the colors in those videos. Now, what am I doing? I don't want to look at the NXL. August? Oh no, August. I'm an idiot. It's June. I was thinking it was July for some reason. I'm like, damn, like a couple weeks. So is it SC Village again? Every time I go down here, I'm always like, oh, then I gotta like, I'm like, this person lives here, and there's a person that lives here, and I gotta go see this person who lives here. I'm like, so I always like look at other stuff. SC Village, August 1st. James? What's up? The Diamond Proflex. The Diamond? I don't know. I lose track of all that shit. There's like so many Proflexes. There's like 400 Proflex colors now, so it's a little bit hard to just keep track of them things. All right, I'm gonna go. We've been bullshitting long enough. I don't know. Look for Chris Raymond. Bobby, right there. I actually got that auto mag. I appreciate it, sir. Wherever, what'd you even say? The goat's off to work now. This weekend will be very interesting. All right. I did get that auto mag. It's over there. Finally, I got it last weekend. It's the first time I was at the paintball field forever. I'm excited to use it. I gotta figure out a vertical reg adapter. I was thinking about just putting I'm probably just gonna put a 12-gram CO2 thing on there. So there's just like something as a foregrip and then just run, you know, macro line. What am I thinking about? I'll run the hose like that, like old school. Boop. Super classic automag. Things like brand new too. I really like that Predator sticker on the back. That's kind of cool. It's a very nostalgic feel. Okay. Now I'm leaving. Gentlemen, it's been real. ProFlex video coming this week. If you're a channel member, you know, maybe you can watch yourself that ProFlex video. Chris Raymond won himself some jazz. I will message Chris Raymond and yep, I can get a hold of Chris Raymond. A male Palmer's Pursuit stabilizer. Male. I'd actually like a female one, right? You can put that on the bottom line. You really don't need a regulator though, huh? You really don't need one with the auto mags though. I don't know, I'll figure it out. We just need a couple things. Okay, gentlemen,